Good afternoon. This is Faye Margina, and I'm back again with some more Taekwondo Tuesday. And let's start with our warm-up. I'm going to start from the top down, as usual, and we're counting in Korean. So, head, side to side. Let's do 10. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. And then semicircle rotations to the front. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. And to the back. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, and 다섯. And shoulder rolls forward and shoulder rolls back. 10 forward, 10 back. And 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. And backwards. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. Next, windmills. Windmills forward, windmills backwards. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. My neck is a little tight today. Must be the way I was sleeping. Weird. Okay, and we did that. Waist. Actually, no, not the waist yet. Arms out. Arms out. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. That's one set. Okay, ready, go. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 둘. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 셋. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 넷. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. And then arms like this. And then we're just going to twist torso to the left, to the right. Same count of 4 is one set. And 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 둘. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 셋. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 넷. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. Now, waist rotations. What do we do? Did we do 10? I can't remember. Sometimes I don't remember. Did we do 10? No, 5 left, 5 right? Waist rotations. 5 left, 5 right. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. Other side. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. Hip rotations. 5 left. Yeah, it is 5. 5 left, 5 right. Tired. The problem is I've been gearing up for a Halloween special stream, so don't starve together. It's just on the back of my brain right now. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. Sorry. I should have my Chromebook handy, actually. Yeah. That's better. Let's just put this here. Okay, continuing with our warm-ups. The hips, now the knees, feet together. I'm going to do knee bends. Again, count of 4 is 1 set. Hana, tool, set, net. Hana, tool, set, net, tool. Hana, tool, set, net, set. Hana, tool, set, net, net. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. Oh, knee rotations. Feet together, keeping your feet together. Knee rotations, 5 left, 5 right. Go. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. Other side. 1, 2, set, net, and dasa. The ankle rotations. Yeah, ankle rotations. 5 outwards, 5 inwards. Go. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. This one too. Outwards. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. And our hands. Just do this for a little bit. Loosen up your wrists. And then shake them out. Keep your hands loose. Shake them out. You can do this with your fingers. Relax your fingers. All right, now we're good. So let's start off. What do we want to start off with? Just some practice our blocks. Just thinking. I'm gonna show a little bit of basic number 1, which is the most basic Taekwondo pattern, and it will combine the stance, the long stance that we learned, with the low block, and also long stance with like punches, and also movement on the floor, three-dimensional space basically. So we'll cover a little bit of that. I have limited space, so you're gonna have to kind of use your imagination of where these parts of the form fit together. But for the most part, I think it should be okay. It's gonna be tricky, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so first, let's practice our low blocks. Oh, hello. Gunslinger Bunny. I already did my daily workout, but I'm always down for Taekwondo. Oh, that's cool. And how are you today, Gunslinger? And did you study Taekwondo before? Did you train Taekwondo before? Okay, so we're just going to do some low blocks, just a basic low block drill. Just going to stand in ready stance. Just going to keep this stance, ready stance. And so left low block. So go into your left low block position. And then we're going to do, sorry, I'm going to move this over so you can see the chat better. I'm doing okay, yeah. And yeah, I did with Master Tilico in Brazil, but I haven't done it in a while. Makes at least 2 of us. It's been some while since I've officially trained too. So let's go start with our left hand low block like this. And remember, if you're a beginner, the blocking arm goes across like this, right? Blocking arm. And then not the blocking arm, the non-blocking arm. Blocking arm comes up here. And at the same time, we move them at the same time for the block. And then to alternate, we do the same thing. Non-blocking arm comes across a bit, the blocking arm comes up here, and we go down. So we're gonna do a set of 10. Hey Lee from Calgary, how's it going? You're around today. Alright, so we're gonna do just some basic low blocking drills. Just gonna do 10, and beginners can do it at their a slower pace if they want, and advanced students can, go as fast as you want, but at the same time, remember to do the techniques properly. Remember to go all the way through And remember to bring your non-blocking arm, your fist should go back to your hips. So I'm going to start with a block from here, start from this position. I'm going to do 10. Go hana, tu, set, net, dasa, yasa, ilga, yoro, aho, and yo. And relax. Junbi. I'm taking a break in between each exercise for new people so they can actually catch up on the drill. Plus I need some water. So if you're new to that drill, actually if you're new to Taekwondo, I'm just going to cover quickly how to do it this. Some people aren't. And you can also watch my previous VODs. But the normal fist in Taekwondo, you want to curl your fingers like this and just put your thumbs this way. There we go. And we normally, with a normal punch, we hit with this. Where's the camera? Where's my camera? With those two knuckles. Alright. And so the low block is meant to block an attack coming from this way or from this way, so coming from this direction. You're blocking, the part you block with is about here, not up here. You don't want to block with this part, right? Block with about this part of your arm. And let me think, what else what other tips can I give beginners? That's about it. You'll notice, if you notice carefully with the blocks, there's a twisting motion, right? And probably in all your Taekwondo techniques with the hands, you got to use a twisting motion. It adds a bit more power because of the torque. And Streamlabs is working. Yes, I also do language and cultural streams. Okay, so let's practice our next block, which is a outside to inside middle block, and we're going to do it from here again. So let's put our hand here, left out to inside middle block position, and we're going to do 10. And if you're a beginner, this is how I start. Start like this. So you bring your non-blocking arm across in front of you, blocking arm up like this, right? And at the same time, so the non-blocking arm goes back to your hip like that. So turn up, and your blocking arm comes across. It comes across, and you rotate so your palm is facing inward. And then the blocking arm should be about, this part is 90 degrees. So it should be about shoulder height, and it should be about this far apart. And same with this side. Same with this side. About that much, and about the same height, and 90 degrees. That's your middle block. That's how it should look like. Alright, so start with our left middle block out like this. And we're going to do 10. Okay, I'm going to do a count of 10 in Korean. And why is my face itchy? This is really bad. Bad discipline. I should be ignoring the itch. Okay, so we're going to count to 10 in Korean. We're going to do 10 blocks. So, hana, tu, set, net, dasa, yosa, ilga, yoro, aho, and yo. And relax. Again, giving any beginners a chance to catch up. Yes, blocking with the ulnar bone. Thank you. I've forgotten the anatomy term for that bone. Alright. So next one we're going to do, we're going to practice our high block. And so back in our ready stance, Junbi. Why is my nose itchy? This is bad. Well, I know why my nose is itchy. I have allergies, which is really annoying. Okay, so back to our Junbi stance. Now, high block, we start by crossing our arms like this, right? And your non-blocking one goes to your hip like this. So non-blocking one goes there, and at the same time, the blocking arm goes up, like that. And think of this as half a diamond, because when we do a double, it looks like a diamond shape. I'm looking at the, not the mirror, the reverse image in the Stream Manager. So it's a little bit of a diamond shape with your head in the middle. So the single block is about like that. So you've got this, see if we can see it that way, this way. You see it this way. It's slightly out from your forehead a bit, and also slightly above, because if you block and it's too close, and you might accidentally hit your head, and you don't want to do that. you got Wonder Woman wrist cross. That's cute, actually. I guess she does do that. I think I only watched that new Wonder Woman movie once. I don't think I watched it again. I'll have to look for that. Okay, so again, this is your high block. And then the other high block, so blocking with the other hand, come back into this crossing motion and do that. And you kind of naturally, your non-blocking arm kind of naturally twists on the way down, right? So like that. All right, so back to Junbi. Start in our high block, left high block position, and we're gonna do 10. Okay. Hana, 2, set, net, dasa, yasa, ilga, yuro, ahop, and yo. Okay, and Junbi, and relax. And so you're from Calgary, I guess. I think I might have been by your profile a few times. Wait, why is this? Why can't I click out of this now? Why does this do that? Why does that do that? Why can't I close this window now? Oh, it wants me to do that. All right. And so I covered 3 of the basic blocks. There's also there are a couple more blocks that I want to cover. 2 more middle blocks. So we did the outside to inside middle block, right? Next one we're going to do is the inside to outside middle block. It's a reverse block, palm out. So let's call it inside to outside, palm out, outside to inside block. That's what we're going to do next. And that's okay. Can I post a link to Twitch Yogathon that I'm part of on Friday? Yeah, there's no links allowed. You have to send it to Nate. Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can send it to Nate Kicks. That's cool. They're having a yogathon. It's on Friday. Yeah, send the link to Nate Kicks and he'll post it. Okay, so and what was I doing? Inside to outside middle block. So we start. Okay, palm out, inside to outside middle block. Start with this block position, and then gotta start the cross again, like this, and come out. Okay, and cross and come out. And I'm kind of running through this a little fast because I want to show people something else. And out. So back to this. So hana, tu, set, net, dasa, yasa, ilga, yuro, aho, and yo, and junbi. This is actually, yeah, I should add that to my profile, to my Twitch channel profile. I forgot to add it. It's World Taekwondo style. So I also have a bit of training in Olympic style Taekwondo as well. for people. I don't know if I can plug this in. Can I put this down? Actually, I'll just put this down here. Alright, so the next block, yeah, it's WT, yeah, we just call it WT now, right? You can imagine why. ITF Taekwondo does a sine wave, pulsing, what do you mean does a sine wave pulsing up and down with the middle blocks or something? I wouldn't know, I've never studied ITF. And I think most of the ITF, I think in Korea ITF is kind of merged with WT, World Taekwondo. I'm not really sure if ITF officially exists. There may still be some ITF schools. So you studied ITF Taekwondo or did you study both? I did have an instructor before that actually came from ITF. Back when I was training, I had an instructor that came from ITF. He did ITF originally, but he switched over to World Taekwondo some years back. Alright, 준비. And now the third middle block is inside to outside middle block, and it's a standard, and it's basically palm in, palm towards you. This is like a standard outside to inside middle block, kind of like that. So again, we've got this cross, except you're going to start downwards, kind of downwards motion. You're going to go and do that, like that. This one, for some reason, I find pretty natural. Don't ask me why. Alright, so 준비, and go start with this middle block. Okay, I'm going to do 10. So, 하나, two, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. And 준비. Alright, so we covered all the blocks for now. At some point we will learn some more blocks. And let's do some, now I'm going to do some punching drills after, maybe. So, I was mentioning that Taekwondo also has patterns, what's called pumse in Korean. It's kind of like, you know, Tai Chi patterns. I don't think a lot of people know Taekwondo has patterns, sadly. Karate also has patterns as well. The reason and purpose of, yeah, Taegak. There's also Palge, which isn't officially taught anymore. I was trying to learn a little bit of Palge, but it's hard to learn it on your own. Then they get confusing. Yeah, the Taegaks. But I'm going to start with a very basic pattern that I was taught, which isn't part of the Taegak collection. And it's pretty basic. It'll helps orient people to the idea of what they're going to start doing in Taegak. So it's called basic number 1. And so we're going to start our Junbi stance, and I have limited space, so you're going to have to, I'm going to have to adjust my position before sort of like each set. So normally, I'm just going to quickly show a few steps. So the first 4 steps for basic number 1, we started in Junbi stance. The first step, we just step long stance, low block. And then we step forward into a long stance with a punch. And can't really see all that, but so that's your long stance. Okay, those are the first 2. So long stance, low block, step forward, punch. So step forward, long stance, punch. And then from there, which you can't really see, and this is going to be awkward, I might actually look for this. So I'm in this position, right? So you can't really see. This is why maybe I should just do it this way. So start this way. Normally we start facing people because I have like more space. You need a big square. So 1 and then 2. Hey gunslinger. Oh, I remember doing that sequence when I moved up the valley. Yeah, this one's actually for white belts. This is a basic one. And then from there, you're just going to turn into a long stance. It's hard to see, I know. And then do another low block. And the 4 steps, step forward and punch. Okay, so that's the first 4 steps of basic number 1. It's to help you get acquainted with moving in the 3-dimensional space. So normally it starts like, let's start this way. I'm facing the wall. If I start this way, let's say I start facing there, let's call that north direction. So first we turn west, and then step forward, punch. Now I'm going to turn east, and go step down, and then step forward and punch. I'm sorry, I had to adjust my long stance there because of the boxes. And next one, we'll come back and we'll be facing north again. But I won't do that yet. Yeah. So the first 4 steps. Turn to the west, turn west, step forward and turn west, step into a long stance with your left leg long stance, left arm low block. And then step forward, right leg long stance, right arm punch. Right. And then from that one, you have to move your right leg, and you're going to go all the way opposite direction into your long stance and low. And then lastly, step forward, left leg, left hand punch. Those are the first 4 steps. So normally when you have, how many square meters? Maybe probably need 3 square meters, right, Nate? For a pattern? 3 to 4 square meters is probably a good space for patterns to do. Especially later on when you do black belt patterns, actually, you might need a bit more, depending. Anyway, so the patterns will help you get acquainted with moving and doing the techniques in a 3-dimensional space. And I'm going to scroll back on the chat and give people some time to catch up to what I was doing, what I was saying. Yeah, oh, you only went up to yellow? When did you start? What's the walking stance called? I don't actually remember what's the walking stance called in Korean right now. The front stance is called apsogi. But I mean, in English, the walking stance is either called a walking stance or a short stance, depending on the different sources, the way they translate it into English. At some point, I will refresh the vocabulary and terminology for Taekwondo. Dinnan sogi, that doesn't sound familiar. Yeah. So Ben's the only one up to yellow. Oh. Yeah, so this one is just basic number 1. And it's not officially part of Taegak, but it will help you get acquainted with the Taegaks. I think Taegaks are more complicated.
The walking stance, apsogi.
Apsogi is front stance.
Yeah. That is the walking stance.
No, it's the apsogi is. Are you sure?
I think so.
Go check.
Yeah, I'm googling it now. That's what I think.
Apsogi should be the front stance, because up means front. Generally.
Okay.
And low block is aremaki or something. I started in mid-2016, but that was right before the belt change, so I only moved up around early 2017. I just stopped focusing on studying and then I moved to oh yeah. That can happen. I started Taekwondo after I was done with school and everything, so excuse me, I need a drink. I'm going to post a link for the Taegaks. Sorry, did you look it up?
No.
Oh. Okay. So, I do have a YouTube playlist because I wanted to save the Taekwondo videos some years back. Do I have it here? Yeah, there's 2 playlists. Unfortunately, the second playlist with the applications of the Taegak, a couple of videos are missing because somebody else had uploaded it. Let's see. Oh, did I just? Okay, that's annoying. I just accidentally closed my browser window. Sorry about that, everyone. Give me a second. Okay, keyboard not working? Alright. Let's go on here. Okay, here. Let's try to get the link for this. Okay. This is the link to all the different Taekwondo patterns. And so this has all of them. I think I typed it as this Taekwondo Tuesday. That has all the patterns, starting with so all the Taegaks and all the black belt patterns. And they're pretty old Taekwondo videos, but they are pretty good. Probably still the best ones out there in terms of what is actually supposed to be done in the forums. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 8 for color belts. And then to get your first dan, you need to know choreo. And second dan, you need to know gong gong. And third dan, you need to know tai baek. And for fourth dan, you need to know pyongwon. For fifth dan, however, you need to know shipjin and jite. The next 2. I was actually working on jite before I moved. And then the other playlist I have actually talks about the applications of some of the techniques. Hey Mike, how's it going? And yeah, oh, you're still a subscriber. You're both still subscribers. And Nate says hi. So the other video playlist I have is Taekwondo Tuesday with applications. Did you get enough sleep, Mike? I think you drifted off while I was still streaming last night. Okay, so those are the 2 playlists I have. Unfortunately, the playlist with the applications is missing Taegak. That's Samjang, Taegak Samjang, and Taegak Sajang. Number 3 and number 4 are missing in the application. I don't know. I went and checked the person's YouTube channel to see if it was still there, or did I miss it or something, but no.
Yeah, so you're gonna go.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Hello? Yeah? My class is... Oh, okay. Thanks for popping in, Gunslinger. Thanks for the follow. I'll be doing this every Tuesday, actually. Maybe at some point I'll add another Taekwondo stream, but right now I'm still trying to get back into it myself. Going to start shortly, so I have to get going for now. Hope to catch another stream, but have a good one. Thanks for the follow. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for dropping in. Depends on your interpretation of enough. Got laundry going on. Laundry again. And Nate waves to Gunslinger. Oh, it's hey, I find it's watching you Taekwondo. Yes, you do. And Nate, how have you been? We're doing the laundry on Tuesdays, which is already the worst day of the week this semester. Mike, I think you need to do your laundry on Mondays. But I guess that's hard if you're not back in Oslo. All right, so we actually. Of course, we did the warm-ups already, and we reviewed the blocks, and I showed a little bit of basic number 1, which is designed to teach you how to move in 3-dimensional space. So it's kind of putting the stances or blocks and they're punching together. I'll quickly show you again. Now just imagine, I'm going to start in this position, in Junbi position. Now for explanation purposes, let's just say that's north. The starting direction facing is north. So it's north, east, south, west. So the first 4 steps of basic number 1 are, we're going to step towards the west. I'm going to step in a long stance with my left leg. So I'm going to move my left leg, and we're going to do a left arm low block at the same time. So just watch carefully and step and drop. I know it's hard to see everything, and then from there, step forward to the right foot into a long stance and do a punch. Now, the 3rd step might be a little tricky. I don't know why, it's tricky for some people, but we're going to move with the right leg, right, and the right arm, and I'm going to be facing what I said was east. So I'm going to move from here, that way, into a long stance and do a low block. And then the last move, number 4, step forward with the left leg and left hand punch. Okay, and we're going to relax right now. That's back to there. Those are the first 4 steps of what is basic number 1. It's an unofficial pattern in Taekwondo that the schools I were at used to teach white belts before they started doing the official patterns, and it's a little more basic, so that's why they call it basic number 1. Hi, it's doing alright. Working and mostly looking as usual. I always found Tuesdays and Thursdays the worst days in general. Monday I have energy from the weekend. Wednesday, the week is half over, and Friday's TGIF. Tuesday and Thursday just drag. I always thought Wednesday dragged. Monday usually sucks as it's first day of the week. The weekend's over. Well, I know. Thursday is like, the weekends are coming to an end soon. It's Friday tomorrow. That's good to hear. I too will be looking. Be right back. Gonna get brunch and coffee. I probably need some coffee, people. Unfortunately, my brain is so wrapped up in the Don't Starve Together that I'm going to be doing on Saturday that I think it's on the back of my head. But more Taekwondo. No worries, it's I know appreciates it regardless. Yes, lurking and working is totally acceptable. Time is passing by quickly though. You mean in general? Like we're almost in November? Yeah. It's week 11 of 14 in my classes. That wait, huh? And then you have exams. Oh dears. All right. So we did some blocks. I showed you a little bit of basic number 1. So let's, I don't know how long I've been on, 42 minutes. So let's do some kicks. I was going to do some punching drill, but I'm going to skip the punching drill today. Basic punching drill, everyone. Go into a horse stance, down, start with your left hand out, and then do punches. And try to do full length, don't do this. But full length. You can also do sparring punching like this. Jab. I'm going to skip the punching for now, and we're going to do some kicks. We're going to review some kicks, and I'm going to teach you I'm going to teach you a sparring technique. We'll just call them. You remember our kicking techniques? Do you remember our kicking? Let's not kick punch. That's the basic one.
Maybe.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Only very vaguely.
Yeah, I don't remember which, because I went from one school to a different school and we changed some of the techniques. I had to learn a different set. So I learned 2 different sets of what they call. What did we call them? Did we just call them fighting techniques? Master Chen called it fighting techniques. I don't want to use that term.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, I don't want to call them. They're not just kicking techniques because they combine with punches. So I'm just going to call them sparring techniques. So, wait, for Mike. Yeah, Mike's, people don't know, Mike just started university this year. Start of December is going to hit like a truck followed by another truck followed by an elephant. I'm not going to make anything fancy today with the steamroller to fall. Hey Admiral, how's it going? And hi Nate. I don't know what Dairun is. We didn't use a ton of Taekwondo terminology. We used some basic ones. And only the competitors knew the sparring terminology, which was really funny. Are you enjoying the snow? We have rain, no snow in Edmonton. Yay, slipping and sliding. There's no snow. So I'm happy. Knock on wood. Oh, you got snow in Calgary already? Wait. Which city is further north again? Maybe it won't snow on Saturday when I move. For some reason I forget which one's further north, Calgary or Edmonton. Maybe it won't snow on Saturday when I move. Yes, but snow in Calgary, Edmonton is 3 hours north. Yes, but I thought Calgary's south and Edmonton doesn't have snow yet? That's funny. Edmonton? Oh my god. I'm not going to tell my sister that one because she's in Edmonton now and she's not liking it, I don't think. She has to get used to it. Alright, so we're going to do sparring technique number 1. So, I'm going to go in our Taekwondo sparring stance. So we've got double fists here, a fist about here, this fist about here. I'm in this stance, which and I can explain this. So from Junbi, basically move your right foot back a little bit, about shoulder width, and keep it about, I don't know how much, not too far apart from the other one, and bring your fists like this. This is the kind of a standard Taekwondo sparring stance. So what I'm going to teach you is sparring technique number 1, and I believe, even though I switched schools, number 1 was the same. So what we're going to do, sparring technique number 1, is like combining some of the things we learned. So first thing we do, front snap kick, step down, followed by reverse punch. That's number 1. Did everyone get that? Probably because of all the wonderful clean air we have here. Well, see, there's a plus to Edmonton. Actually, the air in Amsterdam is a lot cleaner than Toronto was. Actually, the air in the Netherlands is a lot cleaner than probably Southern Ontario, so...
Yeah, I have a feeling.
That was sarcasm? Oh, Admiral. Oh, dears. Okay, so I'm going to move back a little bit so you can actually see more of the technique. So, back to our fighting stance. We're going to do front snap kick, step down, followed by reverse punch, right? And now we can do this drill going down the floor. So, and it's good to do these drills kind of like bouncing on your feet, like I try to teach people that, eventually you get used to bouncing on your feet, balls of your toes, bouncing on your toes a bit. So then you do it again. Front snap kick, step down, should be short stance, punch. And then again, front snap kick, punch. Front snap kick, punch. So you can do those down the floor, and it's good practice. So then you get used to doing combinations here. So anybody have any questions about that one? Well, everything is better over there. Some things are better, Admiral. Honestly, I miss the Ontario healthcare system, actually. The Netherlands has better healthcare than the US for sure, but I miss the Ontario healthcare system. So, like a dance? Oh, you mean the sparring technique. The pie is worse here. There's no cherry pie. Alright, so that's the first one. Now I'm going to actually teach you another kick I'm going to teach you a basic jumping kick, actually. And I didn't want to teach it before because I'm always worried about jumping on my floor, but I'll try to jump very, very quietly. And, if you're in the same kind of situation, you're in an apartment or a flat with people below you, just be careful. So I'm going to show you a basic jumping technique. So it's going to be a jumping front snap kick, right? So from this stance, what I'm going to use is I'm going to end up kicking with my front leg. So I'm gonna end up doing a front snap kick with my left leg. So what we're gonna do is to bring this one up. So bring your back leg up, like this, and then just jump and kick, like that. It's a little, like I said, I don't want to jump too hard. I mean, I think the floors are pretty thick. It's just like solid concrete. So again, jump and kick, like that, and then land. So you're gonna land with your supporting leg. So again, do this, do that, and switch. So that's your jumping front kick. Pumpkin pie. Oh, Nate needs to learn to make. Oh wait, what's going on here? Everyone has better healthcare than the Americans. Not a high bar, I guess. I think Canada has a great healthcare system. Well, at least Ontario has a great healthcare system. It is different by province, right? The patterns, no pecan pie either, barely any pumpkin pie. No cherry pie. No. They sell apple pie at a specialty restaurant. Well, they make clearly a cherry fly, but fly is not quite the same as an American pie. But I actually like fly better because it's more like a flaky crust. But Nate's a diehard American with this pie. They actually have pretty decent apple pies. Look, thanks for the lurk, Lexi. I guess I should learn to make pumpkin pies. But for some reason they use a different crust which is bready and a bit bitter for all the what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't find it bready.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about the cherry fly?
All of the fly use like a leavened, yeast-based bread crust.
But it
instead of
feels
the
like it
sorbet.
seems light to me. It's light and fluffy. My roommate made an amazing homemade pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, not the nice shortbread style. But I couldn't have more than one. Oh man, all it is some lard, flour, and sugar. I like shortbread. I miss Ontario for sure, yeah. They clearly know how to make it because they make apple pies, tarts that way, and cake that. I'm sorry, I know, I think a lot of people are stuck in places they don't actually want to be in, but I've never seen it with any other filling here. Soft, but crunchy. I must move to Germany so I can make pumpkin and cherry pie for North Americans. And Ron, you can open up your own business and sell pumpkin and cherry pie. But somebody opened their own kind of like brownie business here, which is actually pretty good. I've actually seen I think native Dutch speakers walk up and buy it. But yeah, I'm way too lazy to make them salad. Place the lard with the butter, that would be better. Yeah, butter is probably better. I miss just buying them frozen in Toronto and throwing them in the oven for an hour. Wait, what do you miss? Oh, the pies.
Mm-hmm.
Farmer's market pie.
Mm-hmm.
Farmer's market pie. Nice variety. They also had that pecan pie, and then they had... Okay, stop talking about food now. Okay, so... Again. So, I just showed you the front snap kick, right? Jumping front snap kick. Like that, okay? And then the other side. Again, jumping front snap kick. Bring this up, and just switch, and step down. So... your feet land at different times, okay? Can't really show it any better. My flexibility is kind of shot, but here. So you go up like this, right? And my balance is bad. And then, and down. That's your jumping front snap kick. Now, the same kind of technique for jumping is used with other kicks, so you can do a jumping roundhouse kick later. Same kind of jumping later when we do a jumping spin hook kick. Jumping back kicks, Nate.
Admiral's gotta run.
You gotta go? Alright. Well, thanks for popping in, Admiral. I hope you have a good day otherwise. I know it sucks being worried if you don't want to be where you are, but... I know, Nate, it's not the same. I get it. My fault. Well, I have an appointment to get ready for. I just wanted to come in. Thank you, Admiral. See you later. Alright, so jumping kicks. So that's your basic for jumping kick. Jumping back kicks are kind of more like that. So same kind of premise with the jumping back kicks. So all your jumping kicks, think of it as starting, your supporting leg comes up like that always for your jumping kicks. It'll make things a little easier as you progress. And do I want to show side kicks? Alright, so do I want to show another kick? I don't know. Maybe that's enough new stuff. Sorry, I'm thinking here. I showed knife hand strike last week. Love and huggies. Huggles? Mike says bye. I did show back stance. I did show the back stance, but we didn't really practice in the back stance. It was kind of hard. Maybe later. Knife hand strikes. So last week I introduced everyone to a knife hand strike. So not everything is just punching in Taekwondo, you know, the reverse punch, jab, uppercut. You can also do a cross punch if you want. But let's do a knife hand strike. I showed you guys that last week. So knife hand strike, let me just go here. You can stay in this. Okay, the basic knife hand strike. It starts off like you're outside to inside middle block, right? So, and you come across like that. That's your knife hand strike. Now from here, so you're aiming to hit the neck. And the other one, again, same thing. So aiming to hit the neck. So you gotta extend a little bit for the neck. So you can see. So that's your knife hand strike, and you're striking with this part, right? And make sure you keep your knife hand tense at the moment of impact. So you're gonna curl your fingers a little bit, like that. Keep your hands tense, and keep your thumb tucked into the side, and your thumb actually adds some support to your whole hand to keep it firm at the moment of impact. When you're hitting a target, like for example, a pine board, if we're not hitting a person, you practice on a pine board. So I don't condone hitting other people necessarily. So we maybe practice on breaking pine boards. So when you hit a pine board with your knife hand strike, you don't want your fingers loose, you don't want your thumb loose, it can kind of hurt. So keep it tense, and you won't really feel a lot of pain, hopefully. You shouldn't. Let's just put it this way, you shouldn't. Most of the time, I don't think I've ever really hurt myself doing board breaking, except for, did they give me 3 boards or just 2 boards that time? No, it was 2 boards. I had 2 pine boards, and what was hilarious is I'm pretty sure the board in the front was a little wet, so when the boards are wet, they don't break as easily, right? And so I had to punch 2 pine boards, try to break it, but the one behind it was breaking. So the one behind it was breaking, but I couldn't break the one in front wasn't breaking. It might have been a little wet, and the one behind it, yeah. Yes, I remember Master Kim walks over and looks at it, he's like, what? So anyways, eventually I was just like, okay, I tried a couple of times, and like, you know, and then look, there's like knuckle prints on the front one, and they're like, oh, the one behind it is breaking. So, you know, eventually Master Kim comes over, looks at the one with the knuckle prints. He's like, this is funny. And so, anyways, I was just like, okay, you know what? This is ridiculous. Just give me this. So I broke the board. The one behind it, I just grabbed it and went like this to break it because it was almost broken. I was just like, this is ridiculous. But yeah, there's a technique to breaking pine boards. And after all these years, I would say, you know what? 50% your technique, 50% board holder technique, and also a hell of a lot with the boards. Oh my god, what's going on? What's going on? Romic, thanks for the raid. Shout out, guys. Yes. Party at 12. Hello, raiders. Welcome to my Taekwondo stream, actually. I'm not doing languages today, I'm doing Taekwondo. Dark Moon, thanks for joining the raid. Risky Normal. My first break was Palm Heel. Palm Heel is a good break to use, actually. It's a good break to use. My first break was a hammer fist, actually. Later punch. Hey Havoc, how's it going? Drain Jack, how's it going? Welcome to my stream. Another Admiral. Okay, you're sorry. There was another Admiral that I know, so I'm gonna call you Attenberg. Admiral Attenberg. Fishy and Nate. Thanks for the shout out, Nate. Hey Havoc, how's it going? How was your stream today? I saw you were on earlier. Unfortunately, I was probably still asleep. Yes, Taekwondo today. And what were we working on? Taekwondo. Yes, it is Taekwondo today. Taekwondo Tuesday. A whole book of Constitution along with all the men. Oh, you people are just lazy. Just click OK. Just be warned that if you try to use all caps, you might get timed out. I did not add that to the chat rules yet. Risky Normal Taekwondo. That's cute. Risky Normal and the Gettysburg Address. Flexing your T3 emotes. My stream was lovely. Common name, huh? I feel that. It's only one who can pronounce my name. What's your name? Isn't it Drain Jack or Drain Yak? I also speak Dutch, so that J could be either like in English or it could be a Y. Excited to be here while you're doing this. Okay, gotta show off my wealth to the ladies. Okay, why does everyone call you Drain? Interesting question. Okay, so what was I doing? What was I just doing, Nate?
I don't know.
You don't remember? What kind of mod are you? You don't remember what I was doing? Knife hand strikes. Knife hand strikes. Okay, I was just explaining again the knife hand strike. We start knife hand strike. You start similar to the outside to inside middle block. You can leave this hand here. This hand is not going to do anything. It's a non-attacking hand. It's going to go to your hip like this, and you're going to twist. Start palm down, twist upwards. So when you do your knife hand strike, this hand is the striking hand. Keep your hand like this, like a firm. It's a firm hand. Keep your thumb tucked in. Keep your fingers tight. And then at the moment of impact, right? So you can be pretty relaxed here, but at the moment of impact, tense your hand up and aim for the neck. So that's how you do a knife hand strike. Yes, I was talking about knife hand strikes and being very careful with the technique. Your hand should be fairly tense at the moment of impact to curl your tips of your fingers and keep your thumb tucked. So, and when you hit the board, you're hitting with this part of your arm. You're gonna, like, when you hit something, you're gonna hit with this part of it. For example, a pine board, when you hit a pine board, you're gonna hit with this part, and you go straight through. So that's, why is I there? Where are we? I've been called Drain Jackson, and not Drain Jacob. Oh, that's because of the X. Okay, so maybe your last name is Jacob. Jacob in Dutch, sorry. Or maybe she didn't. Useless mod. What are those cardboard boxes? Yeah, I have not unpacked since I moved here. So I've only unpacked some stuff. I want you as my husband in life, indeed, but terrible in real life. Or otherwise. No, Nay, I'm kidding. No, I'm teasing you, Nay. I know you're working. Alright, so knife hand strike. And as I was showing in my last stream, you can practice your techniques moving down the floor, and we're going to do just like your basic, this is your basic sparring stance, right, like this. but we're gonna start by, we're gonna step forward and do a knife hand strike. So you can do that, practice your knife hand strikes. Right? So you can just walk down the floor doing that. You can also do these walking backwards. So if I'm here, just step back. And these kind of walking drills are good to get you used to basic movements, right? So you can practice that with your knife hand strike. You can do those same things with doing your low blocks, your middle blocks, and your high blocks. Okay, then we have to get a divorce to make that official facility. Okay, I accept. Thanks for these lessons. I wish I saw this last week though before getting. Yeah, I don't condone fighting. I have to go to sleep. Yes, it's evening. It's nighttime for you, Ro. Thanks again for the. Oh my God! So I forgot. Raid pop up. Gotta remember, Nate. Raid. She's a dragon. Imagine the fire. She says, "Did you bring dragonlings? Did you bring dragonlings? You brought dragonlings." Oh no, Nate. Control yourself. Okay. Thanks again. Good night. Thanks. Good night. Sorry, you must have missed the raid pop up. I keep forgetting. You gotta remind me, Nate. My lawyer. Or let me shadow box with her. Yeah, prepared your sheet for the class tomorrow. Gonna alert will do some more. Alright, Havoc. Have fun arching. Mate, you a VIP here. Yes, Havoc is a VIP here. Alright, so that was knife hand strike, and how long have I been on? I got about 20 something more minutes. Okay. I'm thinking. Okay, fine. I will teach you guys a side kick as well. I already just showed you guys how to do a basic jumping kick, which is like jumping front snap kick. And I'm doing it very, very gently because I have neighbors and I don't want to be jumping too loudly. So I will teach you guys a side kick, or should I actually, you know what, let's review all the kicks. That was the new kick. The new kick is a jumping front snap kick. Basic kick was a front snap kick, like that. Like that. And earlier I showed you a fighting technique involving a front snap kick and a punch. Front snap kick, punch. And again, you can do this straight down a line. So, and the other kicks, oh, I didn't warm up with my stretch kick today, Nate.
No, you didn't.
Huh?
No, you didn't.
Oops. Okay, and I didn't do axe kicks. Okay, and quick review, axe kick, bring your legs straight up, as fast as you can, as high as you can, and then put as much more power going back down. So an axe kick, straight down. And then the other side for the axe kick, axe kick.
Havoc says it's considerable Taekwondo because you're not making noise for the neighbors.
Yeah.
And Risky says you should spar with your mod.
Oh, I kick his ass all the time. The mod is right here, actually. I kick his butt all the time. Except we're at a stalemate because he knows Aikido, okay? I don't want to be turned into a pretzel today. He doesn't want bruises, and I don't want to be turned into a pretzel. And after that, well, I win because he's ticklish. Okay,
He wants to see the crescent kicks.
Yeah, oh, who wants to see the crescent kicks? I'm about to do the, axe kick again. I'm going to do it from the side view so you can see the axe kick. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm just going to leave the chat there for now. Nate can keep chatting. So from the side, this is what an axe kick should look like from the side. Up and pull down, right? And if you pay attention to the whole body as I do the kicks, you'll see kind of what you need to do to get power into the kicks. You'll notice I use the upper torso with the kick. So again, and down. That's your axe kick. And you want somebody's, yes, crescent kicks. Crescent kicks in Taekwondo, very similar to an axe kick, but I don't know, it's hard to say. It's like a cross between a stretching kick and an axe kick. So a crescent kick, inside to outside crescent kick, just go that way, right? So you want to go across and down pretty fast. That's inside to outside crescent kick. Outside to inside crescent kick, you're coming from the outside and across your body. And then on with the other leg, go this way. Again, inside to outside. Go across your body first, right? You go across your body first, and then down. How do I explain these? Doesn't matter. Inside to outside, and it's not as high for some reason. And then outside to inside, again, and down. And when you do your crescent kicks and axe kicks, stretching kicks, don't drop your heel on the ground. Stop, just stop the motion and just gently put your foot down. So stop and put your foot down. Prevents you from hurting your knee. Okay, and so now roundhouse kick, quick review what a roundhouse kick is. Roundhouse kick starts off in the same way as a front snap kick. So front snap kick is this one. Roundhouse kick starts off the same way. We come up like this, but as you extend for the kick, we turn on our supporting leg and try to turn all the way over so that your heel is facing that way. That's the full powered roundhouse, right? So front kick and then roundhouse, down, and then step down. And you can step back.
Dark Moon wants to know what's the point of the downward motion in the kick.
Which downward motion for which kick? Nate, you can explain these things.
I know.
Okay, so, well, you think you know people. Small world, small world. This is considered yes, it's considered Taekwondo. I'm gonna need this to fight. I mean, spar with your mom. No loud kicks for the neighbors. Yes, no loud kicks for the neighbors. Okay, mutual inside, outside. Yes. Easy. I bet you could be making a bar fight any day of the week. ASMR right there. Sorry. Indeed. Empty this carpet box and beat the sheet out of the blankets with Twitch mod. No. Funny stories. Mixed level of skills are far different from yours. His skill matches that of an elderly in nursing homes. So what's the point of the downward motion in which kick? You can't even open a Kit Kat. The ones you did, the axe kick, the one where we go straight up and then straight down. Generally, an axe kick is used on like the top of someone's head. So, and it's a good kick if you're actually taller than your opponent, because your leg will come down. So, funny story though, there was a 12-year-old kid who was pretty big for a 12-year-old kid, and he kept doing the axe kick in a kids competition. Eventually they had to tell him to stop doing it and only hit the other kids' shoulders because all the kids were crying. So you kind of have to be careful doing an axe kick. I mean, it's landing on the top of somebody's head. Let's see. Yeah, pull down with the heel onto head or collarbone. I know, right? Mick gasses out just from talking to women in the streets, let alone fight guy like, or hitting. Yes, or hitting a downed opponent. Yeah, you can definitely use it if someone's already on the ground. I mean, I have a lot more training with Taekwondo as a sport and a sparring thing, but definitely especially if you also learn Hapkido, which is a Korean self-defense martial art, they also utilize the kicking techniques, but they tend to use the kicking techniques as low kicks. So you can do a front snap kick as a low kick, you can do a roundhouse kick as a low kick, side kick as a low kick. Yeah. And yes, that is true actually. Thank you for that. You can, if someone is already down on the ground, you can do an axe kick, like maybe on their back, or if they're already on the ground on their back, maybe on their stomach. And I almost forgot about that because we used to do one-step sparring, and we used to have to make up one-step sparring. So some of the kids thought it was really fun to do one-step sparring with their partners and just be like, one-step sparring is pretty fun. It's really hard to teach one-step sparring though without having a partner to do it. I'll have to figure out how to do that. I'm pretty tall. Yeah. General recommendation for people if you're fighting, if you're sparring, if your opponent's taller than you, is to use probably a high roundhouse, high front kicks, high side kicks. Those are better to use if you're shorter than your opponent because you can get more height. Collarbone is easier to reach than the head if your opponent is taller. Flexibility is bad. True. I don't know if I could break someone's collarbone. Maybe Nate can. By the way, if anyone in the chat thinks I'm flirting, I am not. They all know you are. I just realized I complimented you 3 times in a row, so I had to clear the air. Getting hit with that kick would be brutal. Yeah. Definitely would need to work on flexibility for the axe kick. And remember, the power comes down, so you want to get your leg up as fast as you can, but you're going to pull power downwards with that kick. So, roundhouse kick, like I said, starts like a front snap kick. You start in this position, and then you turn on your supporting leg at the same time as you extend for the kick. In practice drills, I highly suggest trying to turn so that your heel is all the way facing forward. This way you get used to being able to do a full powered roundhouse kick if you need to. And then every other roundhouse kick will seem pretty easy compared to the full powered one. So you want to go as much as you can, and I'm only about not quite turned all the way over, but getting there. That's the roundhouse kick. And on the other side, roundhouse kick, same thing. Start with your left leg up, right? And I'm gonna turn on my supporting leg. And to turn on your supporting leg, remember to go up on the balls of your feet. Just a bit, so you can actually turn properly. The other bad thing about not going up on the balls of your feet, if you keep your feet planted, you're more likely to twist your ankle or something, maybe your knee. So this one, I cheated there for a second. So again, straight up, and then extend as you turn. Why do I keep doing that, Nate? I keep moving my heel already. Huh? There you go, roundhouse kick. So, as a fun drill, you can do sparring stance. So as I was saying before, you can do drills down the floor. So you can practice your front kicks down the floor, roundhouse kicks down the floor. So you just need a straight line to go down the floor. So that's roundhouse kick. Do I have time to show you side kicks? I have time to show you side kicks. Side kicks are actually one of my favorite kicks. They're actually pretty powerful for intermediate Taekwondo. Hey, what's going on now? What's going on? Okay. Even hitting the jaw on the way up and then the collarbone. I think front snap kick is probably better for kicking the jaw on the way up. If you do a front snap kick with the balls of your feet, the balls of the feet will hit the jaw on the way up. Where's my kicking pad? So you got this. And you have that. You want to hit that with your front snap kick, like that. But you could probably do this. You could probably switch it to a front kick, right? If you got the flexibility, do a front kick, switch it to an axe kick on the way down. That would actually work really nicely. That's the other thing about later on with advanced Taekwondo. There are ways to combine kicks in a slightly different way than you're taught when you're training it. Okay, but it's true. Hitting the jaw on the way up and the collarbone on the way down. Oh, these poor people. Turning with heel down, bad for knees. That's why the Taekwondo folks have those Adidas shoes with a circle on the ball of foot. They probably do. I still prefer training barefoot, Also because it's easier for me to pull my toes back. It's also easier for the instructors to see if you're pulling your toes back. I know. Okay, so side kick. A few minutes to teach you side kick. I'm gonna go over it quickly, and I will keep going over all the basic stuff that we learned. And as we progress, we'll get through, the earlier stuff a little faster. Okay, so if I'm going a little too fast for some of the beginners, you can always slow me down. Okay, so side kick. Side kick again, we're gonna kind of start the same way as the front snap kick. And granted, just be patient with me. I am a little out of practice. I haven't officially trained in Taekwondo for like 5 years. So side kick we start the same way as a front snap kick. But instead of doing what we do with the roundhouse, which is turn and extend for the kick at the same time, side kick you turn first and then extend your kick straight out. So what's gonna happen is you start like this, then you're gonna turn. Right? So you're going to turn and then go straight out like that. Now, the way you want to strike with this kick is you want to use the blade of the foot, which is really hard for me to show here, but I'm trying to show the blade of the foot. The blade of the foot, actually I'll just do this. Blade of the foot is here, right here. So with the side kick, you actually want to hit with that part. And I don't know if it's easy to see that. And my alignment is bad right now. But anyways, just technically that's the way you're supposed to end up. That's the blade of the foot. And you want to hit your target with the blade of the foot. It's a smaller area of contact and therefore localizes the force into a smaller area of the body. And therefore feels a little more painful. Same thing with this side. You want to do that again. So again, so side kick on the other leg, start the same way, knee up, and then we're going to turn and then extend. So go and down, right? And remember for all the kicks, you extend and then retract your leg. Don't extend and just drop your leg. That's bad technique. Also really bad because you could hurt your knee if you drop a straight leg down on the ground. If you ever watch basketball players jump and then land with like a straight leg and they hurt their knees, that's why. So don't do that. So with all the techniques, remember after you extend for the kick, come right back and then step down. Side kick, every kick actually no, roundhouse kicks, side kicks, and all the other kicks that I'm going to show you after roundhouse kicks, you can always practice on the wall. So to practice a side kick on the wall, I'm just going to start with my heel pointed back straight forward and get ready for a side kick. So have your knee in this position and just, I have problems getting the blade sometimes, you need to work on that. And then just extend. So you can do this on the wall to help you get used to the motion, right? And also helps your supporting leg get used to the weight. Because you are probably carrying, I don't know, how much weight is on your, scientifically, Nate? It's a good question for you.
I have no idea.
How much of your body weight, percentage-wise, is on your supporting leg?
If your other leg is not on the ground?
Yeah.
And if you're touching the wall or not?
Doesn't matter.
Then it's 100%, of course.
Do you think it's 100% still?
If you're supporting your entire body on one foot, then yes, 100% of your weight is on that foot.
You think so?
Yeah.
I didn't think about it too hard. But if you're leaning on the wall a little bit, it's not as much. So anyways, the whole point of doing the wall kicking drills is to get your supporting leg used to the weight that is going to be bearing when you're doing side kicks. And also with the wall kicks, you can try to practice doing your higher kicks, which for me is kind of bad right now. I mean, I was working on getting a higher side kick, but for some reason I find, ooh, let me stretch that. For some reason, I find getting a high side kick harder than getting a high roundhouse kick. Don't ask me why. I think it's harder to get a high side kick than a high roundhouse kick. Oh, thank you. Wait, I gotta scroll back. Wait, what's wrong with this? Why is it not scrolling? It's true. Doing pretty good for 5 years absence. Thank you. My flexibility is pretty bad though. I was getting really good. She's a fourth dan, so she has a pretty high standards for good. 90 on supporting leg while vaulting on the wall. Thank you. Okay, so it's about 90. If I let go of the wall, it's 100%. Or using a chair. I don't like using a chair. It might fall over. I guess it depends on the kind of chair you have. You can also do things lying down. You can practice your roundhouse kick lying down. You can practice your side kick. You do a just side kick lying down, Nate. I feel like we did.
Yeah, I guess theoretically you can.
I feel like we did a few times over the years, or at least I did.
I don't think I recall doing that.
So for people who want to have a goal, even just small goals in Taekwondo, you can learn to do side kicks really fast if you get good at it, but you also have to build up your balance, like I said, and you can do machine gun side kicks down the floor, which I can't really do right now, but machine gun side kicks, you're going to start like this and just go down the floor. Just imagine me doing multiple side kicks as I move down the floor. So for people who want to have some kind of small goals to try and reach, try to work on your side kicks to the point that you can actually move down the floor doing multiple side kicks. It's called machine gun kicks. Yeah, ground kick. Can you demo those lying on your side? Not ground kicks, just it's just a drill. You just want me to do the drill for the just to practice the roundhouse kicks and side kicks. Which ground kicks do you mean? I mean, I know how to do a foot sweep. You don't really. I mean, normally you can do a roundhouse kick, or you want it just to do the. It's just usually a practice drill. I don't really use them. I wouldn't really use them in practice because I don't like. Generally, for me, I think it's good to know some techniques in case you're on the ground in a fight. But I think generally the best idea is to get off the ground as quickly as possible. So I never really trained a lot with like ground kicks. So I'm not sure what you mean by ground.
I assume you use the drill, but I'm not
Just
sure.
the drills? The drills are pretty easy. Let's see. It's kind of hard because the camera is facing that way. If I lie down this way, you can just go like, you can just be like this. So you want to practice your roundhouse kicks, or basically front kick drills, you just want to lie down. So if you're feeling a little lazy but want to get some Taekwondo practice in, you can do those while you're doing that. I think. So roundhouse kick, you do that, right? And then side kicks you can do. Yeah, you can do side kicks. So start like this and just extend. So practice extending. And same with the other side. You can do that as well with the side kicks. You can do just extend. So it's good drills to help you get used to the motion that your leg is supposed to make. For us in Canada, I see sidewalks. There's a practical application for side and turning kick on the ground from break fall. I suppose probably. I guess yeah, still. That's true. Can be pretty hard to get back up when you're on ice. Yes, Nate's break fall saved him a few times in Toronto on the way. Or just get really good boots. Yeah, it's true. That is true. Certain situations require you, but I do still think getting off the ground as much as possible is a good thing. Yes, Nate has how many years of Aikido did you do?
3.5, something.
Something like that. All right, so it's about an hour and a half. I think I'm actually past my time. Thank you all for joining in. Let's see. Yeah, I am past my time, isn't it? It's almost 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you have strength drills, strength exercises that you do, if you do weight training, continue to do some of those if you know how to do them well. I'm going to try and add in some weight training exercises for people, just light weight training, not for the purpose of bodybuilding, but light weight training just to keep your muscles toned, because for one thing, if your muscles are weak, your joints, your ligaments in your joints will take more of the stress, and ligament injuries are pretty hard to recover from. So what happens is when your muscles are weak, you're not doing the work that they should to help you with the martial arts techniques, and your ligaments may actually take more wear and tear. So it's important to keep your muscles fairly somewhat strong, strong enough at least to do the stuff that you need to do. And also cool down exercises. You can also do some stretching. I do recommend doing, if you want to improve flexibility, do try to improve your stretches after you're warmed up. Trying to like increase your flexibility, increase your stretching when you're not warm is more likely to pull on your muscles. Light stretching during warm-up is okay. Generally okay. Use your own sense of whether or not it feels like it's pulling too much when you're warming up. It's good to do some cool down exercises like stretching. I like to do some weight training sometimes, but not today. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time. And some cool down stretching exercises. And normally for Taekwondo, I usually like to start with stretching up the legs first. So we can do the splits, you can do the front splits, side splits, stretch everything in your legs, stretch all the possible muscle groups in your legs. Calf stretches if you need to. My calves tend to be tight. Calf stretches if you need to. A full body stretch. Also full body stretch. I will show you guys this one. Full body stretch straight up to the sky. And just to the sides. Twist and to the side, kind of pulls, kind of stretches some more muscles. And then the other side, same thing. And you lean backwards, will stretch your stomach muscles. You can drop and then drop to the ground to help stretch out your back muscles. You can do that for your whole body. Actually feels good. I actually do those when I wake up sometimes. Just lie there and I just do this thing. Okay, so let's go raid somebody. I always like to raid when there's enough people around. Montreal is really bad for icy sidewalks. Yeah, actually, I remember being in Quebec City when I was younger, and it was wintertime, and they actually have railings on the side of some houses to help you walk up the hill. That is true. I don't get, it's not a lot of hills in the Netherlands. It's mostly flatlands. One thing I do miss about Ontario is the landscape, the variety, and running up and down hills is really good for you too. It's good training actually. Oh yeah, cross training in Taekwondo, highly recommend running, highly recommend skipping. I already mentioned some lightweight training as well, and working on your flexibility, but definitely running for sure. Taekwondo is very kind of like stop go. It's anaerobic exercise. So if you can work on cardio training with your running, trying to build up your endurance. If you find the stop go in Taekwondo is hard for you, you can use running training to work on doing sprints. So do short sprints, stop. Do short sprints, stop. That will help you train your anaerobic. But also aerobic endurance training with running is also highly recommended. Skipping, 10 minutes of skipping is actually burns more calories than 10 minutes of running. 10 minutes of skipping is really, really good Taekwondo training. It gets you used to bouncing on your feet. So skip, and then you find this will be a lot easier to do for 3 minutes. 3 minutes was actually the one round in Taekwondo in the Olympics before. They dropped it to 2 minutes. Yeah, it just depends on where you walked, really. Side streets are terrible, main streets not so bad. Here in Amsterdam it's much warmer, but they don't clear the sidewalks. Yeah, because the snow melts the next day anyways. So it's actually really dangerous for the 2-3 days a year that it snows enough or rains when it's freezing. Yeah, but has it ever?
Yes.
Once?
The last couple of winters, there were at least a couple of days where I was not happy walking around.
Yeah, I guess. And they don't really think about it too much here, do they? They don't really make it not slippery. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Let's see who we can raid. Actually, I'm gonna keep the chat there. And thanks for popping in, Lee from Calgary. Nate, can you do a shout out for Lee?
Yep.
Lee from Calgary also streams some martial arts. Please, yeah, thank you, Nate. Do a shout out for Lee. And you guys can check him out. Lee, you do Gumdo, right? I know we talked before about Gumdo on iPing Tai Chi's stream. Do you actually do Gumdo on your stream? I have absolutely no space, as you can see, for doing Gumdo. Okay, I'm trying to turn this around so I can actually... Okay, I need my glasses. This is the problem. Okay, let's see who is doing martial arts right now. Huh? Sorry?
Yeah, iPing is on. I don't know if you want to say it.
Sorry?
The Tai Chi thing.
Hmm? Oh, she's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Haidong Gumdo next stream will be 800. What's Chongmyong Peggy? I only got to like green belt in Gumdo. I had to stop because of the because I have a meniscus tear on the inside of my knee. So doing like the Haidong Gumdo horse stance is really bad. Oh yeah. 800 downcuts. Do you ever do the candle snuffing? You're saying, oh, iPing is on. Okay, we're gonna raid iPing then. Well, so the yoga girl is on too. Okay, we're gonna raid iPing then. Kimasai's face. Yeah, Kimasai's the horse stance. Yeah, my knee did not like it, and I started doing Gumdo after I hurt my knee already. So I tore my ACL, but apparently I also tore the meniscus. The ACL is perfectly fine, but the meniscus tear they couldn't fix because it was on the edge of the meniscus. So she couldn't stitch up the meniscus tear. She could only trim it. Okay, so I'm gonna say bye for now. Thank you all for dropping in for Taekwondo Tuesday. I will be back next Tuesday with more Taekwondo. Tomorrow afternoon will be some more non-monolingual multicultural. I will be, what am I studying this week? Swahili. I'm going to be doing some Swahili and some Japanese tomorrow afternoon around 3 p.m. Starting around 3. So thanks for popping in, everyone. And again, thanks for the raid, Romic, and the scene on. And so we say Ninja Bot raid.